Jay, imagine. It took me years to realize that I was already happy before Scientology. I was 20 when I read Dianetics. And how it was possible that a smart guy or girl would choose to become a cult member. My answer is quite simple. We were conceited. And the idea of becoming part of an elite and ruling the bloody world was amazing. What do you think about that? I think in some cases you're absolutely right. I think in other cases that has nothing to do with why people join up or become part of something like Scientology. For me, to be completely honest, when I first joined staff at 17, I joined staff because I was told that I was going to be sent off for training and that I was going to be a more highly trained and valued course supervisor than any other course supervisor anywhere else in that organization in Santa Barbara had ever had. I was going to be the cream of the crop, the top of the top, right? And I was going to be better than flag trained. Remember, I mentioned in an earlier question here how people go to flag for training. That's supposed to be the top-notch training of Scientology in the world. So they were telling me I was going to go do this special training in Los Angeles. That was this special Sea Organization project. And I was going to come back and I was going to be this kick-ass supervisor. Well, that status button appealed to me. And between that and the love bombing of how wonderful and great and amazing I was, 17-year-old me is eating all this up because I've never heard anybody talk to me like this before. This is wonderful, right? And it's just the most amazing thing. I'm the most amazing thing. This group's the most amazing thing. It's wonderful. So I couldn't sign that staff contract fast enough and get myself down to LA and start doing this training. Well, I crashed and burned hard because I didn't know enough Scientology and I didn't know enough to what it meant to be a staff member to get through the training. And after 4 months, I got sent back to Santa Barbara and my tail between my legs. Oh, gosh. And I started becoming a staff member. And it was over the next year or two of being in the staff environment and learning about Scientology from that point of view of delivering it to other people and dealing with their problems and dealing with statistics and production demand and people yelling at me and things like that were going on there, that I learned that there's a bigger thing going on here, I thought, than just me. And that this is actually, the more policies from L. Ron Hubbard I was reading and the more videos I was watching and event things I was seeing, the more I was getting pumped about this fourth dynamic, this mankind purpose that Scientology had to save the world. And I was in my messianic phase as an individual. I was in my young man phase, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I thought, yeah, let's save the world. That's right. That's something we can do, And I thought that was a real goal. Like this lifetime, we were going to clear this planet. And I didn't know how exactly we were going to do it, but I knew we were going to do it. So that was kind of my whole purpose in that. So that was how it developed in me. And that's what carried me forward into the Sea Org and kept me going for 17 more years as a Sea Org member before I finally realized that maybe the world doesn't need saving, and maybe I should be living my life the way I want to live it, not the way other people are telling me to. So that's how long it took me to kind of come out of that once I was really so heavily indoctrinated into it. So yes, there was a conceit and arrogance aspect to my recruitment and to my joining staff, and by eventually becoming a hardcore Scientologist and Sea Org member. But there was also this honest effort to help other people. So, it's a yin and yang. It's a back and forth. It depends on the situation and the context as to what the person's buttons are that need to be pushed in order to get them, to motivate them to do what we want them to do and get into Scientology or get into the Sea Organization, et cetera, et cetera. So there you go.